Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my latest through the mail TTM returns. We have a collection of Hall of Famers. We have 4 Hall of Famers that came back. So let's get right to it. All right, the first one comes to us from Baltimore, Maryland. This was $10 per 39 days and 2 of 2. And this first Hall of Famer was inducted in 1983 on his first ballot, playing his whole career in Baltimore. Standing before a sea of black and orange from the podium in Cooperstown, he paid homage to his teachers, Paul Richards and George Kell. One of his predecessors at the hot corner, he once offered that George Kell taught me everything he knew about playing third. He also taught me how to conduct myself as a big leaguer, to be a role model, and someone's kids and all fans could look up to. Fittingly, fellow Arkansas native Kell was also enshrined in the Hall that very same day. In his own speech, Kell remarked that he found it almost unbelievable that we have traveled the same path for so long with the same goals in mind, and we wind up here in Cooperstown on the same day. He was also beloved in Baltimore, where sports writer Gordon Baird wrote, "Brooks Robinson never asked anyone to name a candy bar after him. In Baltimore, people name their children after him." Wow, that's beautiful. That's definitely rewarding when people look up to you that much that they're naming their children after you. And here he is. An awesome SIG by a legend on the 1960 Topps, the Hall of Fame inscription. There he is on the 61 Topps with the Hall of Fame inscription as well. That is awesome. Those look fantastic. So grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. Robinson. I appreciate that. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. All right, next up, we have this one's coming to us from Miami, Florida. Now it's a $20 fee. I know it got bumped up. This was 8 days, and this is a 1 of 1. And this next Hall of Fame was also inducted in 1983 as one of the top hurlers of the pitching-rich 1960s. He posted all 6 of his 21 seasons in that decade, leading the NL in victories twice. He also led the league twice in complete games, shutouts, innings, and whip. He led the league in winning percentage in 1966 and an ERA in 1969. Asked how he got that elegant style of pitching, he said this: "I was pitching in Springfield, Massachusetts, and almost at the end of the season, my manager, Andy Gilbert, asked me, almost innocently, 'Juan, why do you pitch that way?' The question took me by surprise because I was almost finishing my second year in the minor leagues, and everybody in the Giant system knew how I was and the way that I pitched. I told him that it was the way I learned how to pitch. Then he asked me, 'Has your arm never been sore?' I said no. Then he said, 'Would you like to learn to pitch overhand?' And I asked him what was the benefit of doing so, to change the way I'd always pitched. And he said, 'Well, you'll be more effective against left-handed hitters.' After he said that, I thought about it for a minute and said, 'All right, I want to learn.' We took a couple of balls and got a catcher and went to the bullpen. The first few pitches I tried to throw overhand, I noticed that it was almost impossible for me to throw the ball without elevating my left leg high in the air. From that exact moment, the famous leg in the air was born." And there he is, the Dominican dandy on the 1972 Topps. That looks great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Marshall. I appreciate it for your time. All right, our next Hall of Famer. This one comes from Denver, Colorado. This was $10, 1 of 1, 24 days. I did ask for the inscription, didn't get it, but that's fine. No issues there. All right, this next Hall of Famer, he was inducted in 2008. Bob Watson, who was both an opponent and a teammate of his, once said of the fireballing pitcher, "He's all arms and legs, and he's not looking at you. That doesn't make you feel good when he's throwing 100 miles an hour. I don't mind the guy throwing 100 miles an hour if he's looking at you. I'll tell you it's a lot better playing behind him." He could be an intimidating presence on the mound, standing 6 foot 3 inches with a penetrating scowl. But of all his attributes, it was his overpowering fastball, which could reach 100 miles per hour, which made him one of the top relief pitchers throughout the 70s and 80s. According to this pitcher, he said, "My wife wouldn't know me out there. If she ever came to the mound and talked to me, she'd divorce me. I don't like anybody with a bat in his hands because he's trying to hurt me with that thing." If you haven't figured out that Hall of Famer is, they're the Goose on the 1973 Topps rookie card. That looks fantastic. That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Gossage. It is much appreciated. All right, and our final Hall of Famer comes to us from St. Louis, Missouri. This is a 2 of 2, $5 per, and this was 8 days. All right. So this Hall of Famer was inducted in 2010. At the end of his career in baseball, he held just about every position that the game had to offer. He was a player, scout, general manager, coach, and farm system director. But what earned him his enshrinement into the Hall of Fame were his managerial skills. He enjoyed his most successful run as a manager with the Cardinals, winning 3 National League pennants, including a World Series title in 1982. In addition to serving as a manager, he was also the general manager for the 1980 and 81 seasons. He built the team around speed, defense, and a strong bullpen. The Cardinals had 7 players finish with double-digit steal totals in 1982, including left fielder Lonnie Smith, who finished second in National League MVP voting. His brand of baseball was dubbed Whitey Ball. And as you guessed, there's Mr. Whitey Herzog. There he is from his playing days on that 1958 Topps. I believe that's his second-year card. Looks awesome. And there he is as the manager of this 1984 Topps. Very cool. All right, there it is. Little Cooperstown Hall of Fame edition. I'd like to thank Mr. Gossage, Marichal, Robinson, and Herzog. Thank you so much, sirs. It was. I'm very grateful, and these cards look fantastic. Thank you for your time. And everyone out there, thank you for your time for watching, supporting. And, of course, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and hit that notification bell. Thank you all. Take care. Be safe.